In a conversation with the team lead a while ago, I discussed the importance of user experience or UX. Unfortunately, the response was somewhat unexpected as he believed such research was not critical for B2B companies. The argument was justifiable to some extent because the company runs the business on a B2B model which heavily relies on interpersonal relationships driven by sales, business development, and account executives or manager. Communications, including negotiations, are done in person, over the phone, or via email. Suppliers or clients barely visit the website, browse, or create accounts or login. Hence, he believes the investment made in UX is not worth the impact. However, such an argument becomes less and less applicable for several reasons, especially today in digital era. Whether it's a B2B or B2C, your users are still human beings. They have feelings that you need to manage. The feeling experience for your users when using a product or service is not the responsibility of the business development, account executives, or managers alone. It belongs to everyone, including those designing the product or service. And since most products or services are available online, you cannot avoid working on your website or application to ensure a positive user experience. Otherwise, those users may abandon or leave you and switch to your competitors. User experience is the term used to describe the interactions between a user or with a product, service, or system. Sounds quite simple. For a positive user experience, however, a product, service, or system needs to meet all or at least a combination of any of the following characteristics, and this is where you need to work quite hard. Findable. Can they find it easily? Does it appear high up in the search results? Credible? Do they trust it, or are there any concerns about security issues, for example? Accessible? Can they use it regardless of the locations, language barriers, or physical constraints? Usable? Is it easy to use? If yes, how well can they navigate the product? Useful? Does it serve their needs completely, partially, or not at all? Valuable? Does it add any value to them? How much? Desirable? Do they want to use it, especially if they have to pay for it? Positive user experience is one of the success factors for digital business models because it determines whether users want to use a product regularly or even recommend it to others. It might be too late to say this, but I believe it is better late than never. So welcome to the experience economy, where the currency is nothing but the experience itself. And talking about user experience, I advise you to check the websites or application of these brands. If you check their website or application, you'll probably think it is because they have good design or user interface. However, user experience is not merely about the user interface. Indeed, screens, buttons, toggles, icons, and other visual elements on a website or app and other electronic devices are also success factors. However, none of those will lead them to where they are today if they fail to manage the entire interaction with their products, including how the user feel about them. You might be thinking or asking this question to yourself. If user experience focuses on the feeling experienced by the user and the feeling is highly subjective, how can they measure it objectively? There are several KPIs to measure and track user experience. Among others are adoption rate, comparing the number of customers that have adopted and are using a specific product or service to the total number of customers having access to it. Average time on task. This KPI tells you how much time a user needs to complete a specific task. Task completion rate. It refers to the number of users who complete the task by the total number who attempted it. Error occurrence rate. It is the total number of users errors that occur across all users by the total number of possible errors for all users. Retention rate. It is the percentage of users who continue using your product or service over a specified period. Customer satisfaction score, it indicates how satisfied customers are with the product or service. Net Promoter Score, it is about the likelihood that the users will recommend a company, product, or service to a friend or colleague. System Usability Scale, it gives a global view of subjective assessment of usability. Generally speaking, higher rates or scores indicates better user experience. So the next question is, what can you do to deliver better experience? The answer is to focus on the users. Remember the importance of human touch. Get immediate feedback on the content, code, and design. In response to the feedback, consider mapping the touch point. Whenever possible, eliminate the redundancies to reduce friction between your website or mobile app and your user. For example, if you need them to provide payment details, ensure they only need to do it once, offering an option to save their credit card information and can enhance user experience, particularly for repeat customers. By the end of the day, it is about creating an experience that is personally relevant, meaningful, and adds value to your user. And again, to understand what is relevant, meaningful, and valuable to them, you should reach into their minds. You might have heard of accessibility testing, usability testing, and desirability testing. Other than those I have just mentioned, there are a lot more ways you can take to enhance the user experience. And if you want to learn more about the user experience, especially the agile one, please subscribe to this channel. For now, I'll stop here. Thank you for watching and see you in the other videos. Cheers.